So I'm looking in the car reflection and the light is flashing, so that means I'm recording. Okay, I gotta see how my arm is gonna do. Oh, you know what? My foot hit the accelerator, the shifter. Here goes. Okay, this is going to be my first video vlog or MotoVlog on my 2015 Can Am Spider F3. Originally I had the ST Limited, which was a very nice bike. However, I have arthritic conditions in my right hip, which made it very uncomfortable to ride, first of all. And in addition to that, it had the 998cc engine in it, and I found out, even with the semi-automatic transmission, that it was not really what I had hoped to have out of it. I'm a pretty good sized guy, 5'10", 5'11", at 260 pounds, so the extra engine that let's see, here we go. The extra engine that I get out of the 1330cc engine on the Rotax engine supplied for the F3, much more favorable. So I'm heading down, down into the valley that you guys have seen before on some of the other videos that I've done. Again, this is my first time recording with the GoPro camera and the new Cena SMH10 that I bought. This should do a much better job of recording my voice than just the the GoPro camera microphone. So here we go. I'm having a problem with my right shoulder where I have a pinched nerve in there, and this is the 4th week that I've been dealing with this. Very, very discomforting. This is only about the 2nd time I've actually been able to take the bike out for a little short ride. So we're trying it to see just what I'm going to get with the camera and the new audio pack that's been added to the camera itself. Power on this Can-Am is much better than what I was having with the ST Limited. Over here on Portage Pass, currently, we've been down this road before. I'm trying to figure out how to adjust my shoulder like I did when I took the bike out last week for the first ride, make it a little bit more comfortable and less aggravating. With this new bike, I'm not having any problems whatsoever with my hips anymore with the arthritis. Now, it could very well be that the steroid shot that they gave me and the prednisone that I was on to try to eliminate the pain in the shoulder may have actually helped with the arthritic condition in my hip. That will be determined later on, of course. Doing about 37 miles an hour here. Temperature about 68 degrees. I don't know right now if the camera is actually sitting where I need it to be, what it looks like in the viewfinder. I guess we'll find out when I get back home. I currently don't really have any way of being able to see that. Getting a lot of wind noise around the helmet as I'm riding, so hopefully it's canceling the sound of the wind out. The microphone is actually pushed up behind the shield. Again, this is my first time trying this with the new setup. Currently running along in 4th gear. Got a 6-speed manual shift transmission. I got the 1330cc Rotax engine. Very nice ride. Speaking about the shoulder, though, I'm going to be going this week for some therapy. I've also got chiropractic visits that I've been going to. And between the two of them, hopefully some type of solution will be worked out for this problem. Having a little pain in the wrist area and the small finger and the second finger in are constantly tingling. They feel numb. The small finger itself definitely has numbness in it. Downshifted into 3rd gear to go down this hill. I'll definitely be glad when the pain that I'm having in the shoulder is cleared up. So uncomfortable right now. So we're going to be turning left into Sand Run Parkway here at the bottom of the hill. Last week it seemed like I had a little more success in trying to get the shoulder adjusted, more so than I'm having this week. People out taking walks, getting exercise, walking through the Sand Run Parkway here. So this has got the low light setting turned on. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like. It's pretty dark riding through here right now, from what I'm seeing. Not to the point where it's like midnight or anything like that, but definitely very low lit because of all the trees that are in the area here. Pretty sight though when you ride through here. Again, this is the Can Am F3 Fighter, F3S, has cruise control on it. This bike doesn't have nearly the bells and whistles that the ST Limited that I had purchased originally had, but the sacrifice for those things gives me the better comfort when I'm riding, in addition to the additional engine horsepower. Traveled through here many times from the time when I was a young man, just learning how to drive. Used to bring my girlfriend, which is now my wife, down here on previous rides, and pretty much can ride through this place almost blindfolded now. I have nephews that are in their 40s, one even 50 years old now, that we've taken on rides when they were little guys. And we ride along through here when I didn't see anybody else coming, either going or coming. Knowing the position in the park that I was in, I would take them along here 10, 11 o'clock at night and then turn the headlights off. Wouldn't be moving very fast at all, just for a few seconds, and scare them to death. Coming up on a ford that many times after it rains hard is impassable. They completely close this off. You can see where I'm talking about here. Just a trickle of water going through here right now. That in itself was always kind of scary to the kids when we would bring them through. A lot of fun though. I think when I get to the end of this road where the traffic light is, I'm going to go up the hill. That is Sand Run Parkway, and that'll take us up to Smith Road. We'll take Smith Road down to Merriman, which is down in the valley, and we'll head back home. Hopefully the battery will hold up with all that I'm doing, the talking, the filming and whatnot, recording. I guess no film anymore. It's amazing when you think back years ago that we used to use film in camcorders and whatnot. Sometimes it would work really nicely, or very nicely, and other times it would be very disappointing, the quality and whatnot. With these new devices that we record on now, though, you can record in 1080 high definition, no moving parts whatsoever. The media is recorded and stored on SD cards about the size of maybe your big thumbnail. This particular media that I'm recording on, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a 64 gigabyte SD card. I've got several other videos that you've already seen on here that I thought I had actually erased, you know, when I've taken them off of the camera and stored it on the computer. So this is going to be added to the other one. The difference between this bike and the one I had originally at first, the ST Limited, this one is not semi-automatic like it was, so I have to remember to downshift, whereas the other bike did it itself. It's got such a much better acceleration band than the other bike did. I'm very, very happy with it. I got up to about 50 miles per hour in third gear there. Plenty of throttle left. We're going to be making a right-hand turn here and heading towards the hill on Smith Road. Pretty steep hill, actually, if I do say so myself. So far, everything about this bike I'm very, very happy with. Trying to look in the, oh yes, it's still recording. I can see it reflecting in my my iPhone here. Very good. Okay, this one nice feature about this bike, and I think all of the Can-Ams, is that they have self-canceling turn signals. Unless you were just turning like on maybe a 45-degree angle, they always cancel out when you make that turn. Nice feature. This bike has what they call a U-Fit system on it. It's got like 5 different positions for the handlebars, as well as the foot pegs, meaning that you can have your legs extended further out in front of you, or in position 5, which is the standard position. They're pretty much right in the middle of the 5 settings. And I've got mine on position 4. Actually, position 3 probably would be much better for me. I'm 5'10", 10 and a half or so, but I like the 4th position because of the arthritis. This feels better for me, the riding position that I'm in, and I don't have to deal with the pain quite as much in the 4th position. Okay, we're coming to the steep part of the hill here. Currently in 5th gear, I'm going to drop it to 4. It's getting even steeper yet than what it started off. There'll be a roundabout at the bottom of the hill here. This will be Merriman Road that we're coming up on, and we'll head back towards home when we get there. This is one of those turns where I have to cancel the, whoops, didn't mean to hit that. There we go. Just canceled the turn signal. Wasn't enough of a turn there to actually make it go off by itself. Pretty bumpy road here, but the suspension on this bike is so good and so forgiving on the bumps that it makes for a nice riding experience, even going across bumps like those. It's kind of a washboard type of bump. To my left, there's a huge, I guess you would call it sewer pipe. That's it takes the water sewage out of Akron, Ohio, and takes it over to the Boatswain cleaning or treatment plant here. Also, we're riding along the area where the Cuyahoga Valley train goes, which is a nice scenic train ride that you can take. It's about a 3-hour ride. When you ride it, it takes you from, actually it can run from Canton, Ohio, which is about 25 miles south of Akron, up to just outside of Cleveland. Can't think of the name of the city now. I guess that's called a senior moment I'm having. So far, everything on the ride seems to be going along pretty well. When I get to this light, this will be the Portage Path or Portage Trail, which is what I rode down, putting me into Sand Run Parkway. I'm looking in the direction of where I'm talking about, but you can't see it because of the buildings and the trucks and whatnot here. But we're going to go Merriman Road to head back home. Just a little bit outside of the path that I took to come here. Still smell the newness of the engine and transmission and the parts and components that are making this bike up from the heat from the engine. Fuel prices around here have been kind of up and down. Right now it's about $2.26 a gallon for regular unleaded. This bike has to take premium. Well, that's what they recommend for it. That's what I'm going to put into it all the time. Vehicle that's behind me, I don't know if it's a bike or a car. I see one headlight, so it could be a bike. $1,330 cc engine is pretty powerful. So far, I'm not disappointed at all. The engine has got a very nice tone to it. I didn't like it too much at first. It just sounded too different to me from what I'm accustomed to with a motorcycle, but it definitely has a nice tone to it. This is the standard exhaust system that's on there. Silencer, they call it. There are ones that are made by Akrapovic, I believe is the name of the company, that you can purchase for it, and they give it a much deeper, louder, more noticeable sound when you're riding. Passing Mayfair, which is right off of Merriman Road here. This bike has a seating position that's about 3 to 4 inches lower than the Can Am RT Limited and the ST. So you actually, when you're riding this thing, you feel like you're sitting more in the bike than on it. I like that. It gives it a very low center of gravity. Very nice homes along Merriman Road here. I'll be disappointed if the video doesn't turn out where it's viewable. I do have it on the low light position, so we shall see what we produced here when we get back. Can't wait to offload it or download it onto the hard drive on my computer, work with it. many cars around here for me to really demonstrate what this thing is capable of doing. I gave it a pretty hard acceleration the other day when I took it out for the first time, and man, it will get up and go, believe me. They did a really nice job with this engine, with the whole design of the bike, period. I don't want anybody to think I'm challenging them or trying to race them. Plus, it's nighttime. Visibility is about half of what it normally would be in my car, so I'm just going for the enjoyment of the ride today. One thing they taught me when I was learning to ride, or drive rather, and the same thing applies even more so to this vehicle, and that's don't drive beyond what you're able to see speed wise, and just be careful. Number one rule of the road, be careful. Second rule is don't forget rule number one. Okay, we're coming up on soon here. We'll be coming to Rhodes Avenue. I'm going to take that over. I usually go up Marshall to head back home, but I'm going to go over to Rhodes Avenue and come back that way. Okay, that was a motorcycle that was behind me. Shoulder didn't do too bad. Currently, it feels a little. Let me see. Yeah, we're still recording too. It had a little discomfort, but not like it was when I first went to ride this bike. I seriously thought, "Oh Lord, now I've got another problem. It's going to make it where I can't ride this thing." But I'm getting therapy on the shoulder. The chiropractor is providing his therapy. And between the two of them, I think it's slowly working its way back. So I'm about a little over a block away from home now. Go up here and make this right turn at the light, another right, and in the middle of the block, I'm home. Okay, we have arrived back home. First ride with the GoPro camera and the Cena recording system. Hopefully it was successful. Okay, YouTube, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next run.